guys, welcome back to We Watch Movie. Mike here, and I want to start doing a little bit more of the weird little indie horror movies that come out. I love horror movies. Horror's probably my favorite thing to review, so I want to start doing some of these movies that go straight to video on demand or go straight to Blu-ray or whatever that aren't really big horror releases that I know a lot of you guys watch. That being said, I'm going to review Spring, this movie with Luke Taylor Pucci. That's probably not how you say it. He was in a movie called The Story of Luke that came out, and not a lot of people have seen that, guys. If you get a chance, check that out. It's not a horror movie or anything. It's about this guy that I think it's autism that he has. I haven't seen it in a while. It's a really, really good, underrated movie that nobody really talks about. I really don't know anybody else that's seen it. So if you get a chance to watch that, it's called The Story of Luke. I definitely recommend check that out. He was amazing in that movie. Now this movie, it's strange. It's a horror movie, but it's a romance movie. It's like those Ethan Hawke movies, the Before Sunset movies. It's a lot like that with like a horror element mixed in. It's really weird. It's about this kid, Evan, and his mom just died. He's kind of down on his luck. He works at a bar. He gets in a fight with this douchebag asshole at a bar. The kind of guy that makes you just want to, like, Joakim Noah's face. He gets in a fight with this guy and he beats the shit out of him. And now the douchebag's pressing charges, so his life's in a tailspin or whatever, so he flees and goes, he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna go to Italy. He meets this girl who's absolutely amazingly hot, and it's about their romance, and they just like go through the city together, like I said, like the Before Sunset situation. There's a lot of conversation, a lot of talking, a lot of sightseeing, stuff like that. Their characters are built up through that a little bit. It's semi-interesting. Don't turn it off just yet. The whole thing is as they're falling in love, you're kind of finding out what she is and all this dark shit that's going on behind the scenes. So it's a monster slash creature movie kind of tied in with a love story a little bit. So that's all I can really say. I want to give more of a plot, but it's hard to. I don't want to give away any spoilers because I want to let you just find out on your own. But you don't know what's going on. For as far as the creature situation in this movie, you don't know if there's a vampire situation or a werewolf situation or what the fuck's going on. But it's original and it's really interesting to kind of find that out as it goes along. Now, I will say this. It is 90%, at least 85% romance, love story, and maybe 10-15% horror and like sci-fi, a little bit of sci-fi in there mixed in. I love when an indie movie can do something really grandiose. Using the indie effects and the small budget they have makes something insanely crazy that you would think would take millions of dollars to make look real. This wide-scoping, just crazy special effects shenanigans situation, and they can take it with a little small budget and make it look real. For me, that makes it more realistic, as long as they don't muck it up and it doesn't look fake. When you can pull that off, it really holds a special place in my heart because it's just something, it adds a whole layer of realism to it. Like the movie 2012, for crying out loud. There was some shit, if you'd have explained that movie to me, like the shit that happens in it, I'd have been like, oh man, I bet that's gonna look cool as shit. And some parts did, but the overdone CGI and the fact that John Cusack is flying a plane between and through buildings and shit, the whole Fast and Furious shenanigans type stuff, yeah, it's cool, but it doesn't just stick with you because you're like, that looks fake as shit and could never happen in real life, and I could see the CGI just rolling all over that bitch. Now there are little things, little bits of CGI you can see in this, but what their budget forces them to do helps add realism to the parts that are special effects written in this movie. And there's not a lot of special effects in this movie, but the parts that are kind of jarring and kind of stick with you a little bit. And they look really good. I think that part was done really, really well. That being said, the romance part of this, his character, I liked him because he's just kind of a bro, you know, who's been through some bad shit. You know, the problem I have with their romance is, to me, his character was really, really needy, which, yeah, I imagine any guy in his situation would be. But it seemed to me like he was like crazy over any girl that he runs into. It seems like he's the type of guy that's just like, I just want to be in love right now. And every girl he sees, he thinks he's crazy in love with. So when their love story kind of kicks in and he's like crazy about her, it's kind of like, not that big of a surprise, man. It seems like you're thirsty. You're thirsty as shit, and it seems like you would go after anybody. And her, where she was so standoffish and so secretive, it was kind of like, she kind of seemed like kind of an asshole a little bit. I didn't like her that much because it's like, why are you being such a dickhead to him? If you like him, you like him. Don't play those cutesy little, I like you, but get away from me. That type of weird shit. I understand why she was doing it, but it just for her character or whatever. The way the script's written, it's very talky, and some of it's really interesting, and they have some interesting conversations. When everything is revealed, they go over it 3,000 times, and you're like, I get the situation. You don't have to explain it to me 1,000 times. There's a couple parts of this movie, as interesting as it is, and it's nice to see a horror movie take itself so seriously. Because a lot of horror movies don't, you know, and it can be fun when you have a horror movie that just, let's just fucking cut people's heads off and have stupid shit happen. And it sucks when a movie tries to take itself seriously and it's a really simple, dumb premise, and it's like, get on with it already, we get it. In this movie, it has the best really of both worlds. Like, it takes itself seriously. It's got some really interesting things to say. You know, the horror is just like kind of an added bonus in the movie because all of a sudden you're like, ooh, this shit's deep and dark and ugh, I feel weird inside. And there's some really cool stuff that they do with that. But there was a couple parts in the movie where it's like, get on with it already. I want to see something cool happen. You know, it does drag a little bit here and there, and the ending, what it ends on, some people will like it, some people won't. I liked it a lot. I thought they tied in kind of all the aspects at once, the horror, the love story, the heavy-handed script a little bit, and the sci-fi all kind of ties in for me at once, and I thought it left it at a pretty good place. It wasn't a home run by any means, but this movie is enjoyable to watch. And if you know, if you're a guy and you're with a girl and she wants to watch a love story and you want to watch a horror movie, you should be like, no, seriously. I know you're not going to believe this, but this is a love story movie, and you get a little bit of horror aspect in there as well. So it could be a good date night movie, I think. Extremely original. The way that they tie the genres together, the idea, the whole secret in the movie is really done well, I think. And I think it's a cool, original, interesting horror creature sci-fi idea. I really like what they did with that. So it's worth watching if you're a horror fan just for that reason. Just be prepared for a lot of talkiness and a lot of romance stuff because that's in there. So ultimately, guys, I give this a 6.5. I liked Spring. I don't know if I'll ever watch it again except for maybe to show it to somebody else to see what they think about it, because it's one of those movies you can talk about for a little bit after you watch it with someone, and you gotta love that about any movie. But I want to know from you guys, what is a movie that kind of flew under the radar, a horror movie that not a whole lot of people know about, that you love, that just has a special place in your horror heart, that not a lot of people talk about or know about? It doesn't have to be the greatest movie or the scariest movie ever, but you just love it because for whatever reason that movie just sticks with you. For me, it's Brain Scan. That used to come on HBO or Cinemax late at night, and I used to watch it all the time. And I think it was Edward Furlong. I gotta get that movie and review it because I used to love that movie. It was just a fucked up cool movie. Brain Scan, and also Strangeland. Not the best movie, but it was Dee Snider as this creepy ass, like, murdering, sadistic guy. And that movie just creeps the shit out of me because it's realistic. It was at the start of the internet. And his name was Captain Howdy. He was using the internet to prey on girls, and it's just a fucked up, just dark movie, and I like it a lot. So comment below, what is your all's movies like that? And until next time, I'm Mike, and we'll see you guys next time. I said that twice.
We watched a movie. Yeah. We watched a movie.